Hey everyone, what is up? I am kind of sleepy and in the studio a bit early today, so I've just been waiting to start this live stream, made sure everything was working. And as a backup, since I've messed things up several times doing this, I am also recording this live stream as of now. So recording as a backup, streaming live, chat window is open, I've got my reference. So today I'm just going to be painting and hopefully chatting with a few people here and there. My wife is messaging me. Hey. All right. Got a lot of good news from my wife just now, so yay. Today is shaping up to be a fairly relaxing, straightforward, focused day of work for me. Yeah, we're going to start the day off with this. So I did present this to a group of artists and got some feedback. I'm going to be making a few minor changes to it today just to take into account some but not all of their suggestions, because this is still my painting, and there are certain things that I would like to do with my painting that may not be completely in line with those suggestions, but for the most part they were all very good suggestions that I received from that group of artists. I really respect those artists, which is why I meet with them every flippin' week. It's one of the best decisions I ever made for my career, honestly, is just regular contact with like-minded artists. Yeah. So if you don't have a good art community, I highly recommend finding or building one. Artists need to stick together. Listen to me getting all philosophical. Oh, yeah, and I also need to make sure that... Oh no, I lost one of my new references. Oh well. I also need to make sure I can see everything that shows up on the chat. I had the chat window closed. Random little exciting piece of something. I don't know. It's honestly not even that exciting. I got a new pencil grip in. This one like hugs the Apple Pencil really well. And last week I had just put on my new rock paper pencil tip, and it wore down almost immediately. So I ordered some new pencil tips that are also metal, and we'll see how these work. They have a little ball on the end to keep it from scratching, but I've got a feeling that the rock paper pencil screen protector is going to wear it down. It's just a feel, but we'll see what happens. Everything I'm doing today is very much value-based. So I'm working on building some values into this painting, but I want it to be very painterly, so... I'm getting kind of messy with it. So something I did in designing this piece is actually build a reference comp. So I actually pulled in all of the references and sort of photo bashed them together to create a composite design where I could test out the composition before I started painting. What are your thoughts on doing that? Is it cheating? Is it like, what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments and stuff and things. I mean, you already know my thoughts on it. I did it. So, in my opinion, it's not cheating. It's just a smart workflow. It helped me test and validate my composition ideas before I started sketching. And there are some major deviations from what I composited to what I'm painting now. So I'm not copying my reference. If anything, I'm modifying it a lot. But I did build a composition before I started painting. It's honestly, I think the first time that I've tried this workflow, and it was recommended to me by a fellow professional. So I thought it would be interesting to try it, and it's interesting. So whenever I'm painting something that's based off of a song like this, for some reason, I find it very easy to see the composition in my head before I even start. Like I've got a good idea of what I'm going to paint before I even start painting. And especially with this one, I was ready to like build the comp and all pretty early on. And the comp that I mashed together looks very similar to what I had in my head. And I didn't need to modify my initial idea too much. What was kind of cool though is like getting to how to explain it. I got to, I don't want to mess with the opacity. I'm trying to change the brush size. Whatever. Brain just quit working on me. Oh, all right. Sorry, I need to do a couple of things really quick. One, my brain's not working, so I'm gonna go to YouTube and confirm that I'm live. You're gonna hear me talk over me probably in just a moment. Huh. That was 5-1. Content. Ooh, I need to respond to YouTube comments. I'm sorry. All right, it says I'm live. Click it. Okay, I did see that I was in fact live, so that's good. Now, building comps from an idea and testing the composition that way. I did skip the thumbnail phase this time because I got straight into layering a composition together. So I actually have a layered composition on my computer in Photoshop where I took several images. For this one, I think I took like 7 images, and I have photoshopped them together into something that closely resembles what the final product should look like. Except as I'm painting it, that resemblance is getting further and further from the initial idea, which is intentional. Like, I do not want this to be a copy of a bunch of photoshopped images together. I want this to be my design. So I am using the comp study very conservatively. It is there as a reference point whenever I get stuck on a piece of the composition, not as a guide for the finished composition, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Like, my main concern is the flow of the composition. Now, it was kind of interesting being able to skip the thumbnail phase. I wouldn't recommend doing that every time. Like, sometimes I have a clear idea of what I want the composition to look like. Oftentimes I do not. I will say that had I not skipped the thumbnail phase, I may have found some more interesting approaches. So there is a trade-off when you skip an important part of the process. You may not get the best results. Sorry, I want to check something really quick. So this is a smoothed brush. I don't want that. I just want a smooth. Okay, so let me zoom in on this. You can see there's a little bit of a jitter in my lines. So I have found that the rock, paper, pencil screen protector, since it's a static cling screen protector, does impact the performance of the Apple Pencil. No matter what nib I use on it, it has a tendency to cause some static interference that gives me a little bit of line jitter, which is sometimes frustrating, especially if I'm trying to do clean lines for, say, a comic panel, which I am getting into, trying my hand at comics. Growing up, that's actually what I always wanted to be, was a comic book artist. Don't know why I never pursued it. Lack of discipline in my younger years, I suppose. It's not a good thing. There are some regrets there. Sorry, that's a tattoo artist joke that I have to throw in. Regrets, no regrets. Not funny. Okay, so my I'm working under the line layer. After I get my base values in, I'll move to working on top of the line layer. Sorry, I'm trying to imagine. So I drew the whole head last live stream. I drew the whole head and then cropped it because I was struggling so hard with uh, the shape of the nose and the mouth. So my solution was to just draw it all and then crop it. I should have went ahead and sketched in the planes while I was at it because I'm struggling with that piece of it now. Layer. Bring up the spray can. Looking cool to me. Underneath that layer, I want to get the next layer of trees in. Hey, what's up? I am sleepy, but working. Sleepy, but working. I guess that's sort of the norm. Oh, I'm listening to some 80s inspired music in the background that you cannot hear because YouTube would call that a copyright violation. So we've got sound going on the stream, but I'm listening to something a little different today. And if you haven't heard of the band Crosses, it's amazing. I'm a Deftones fan, so anything that Chino Moreno does, even his side projects, I'm like, it's good stuff. I will listen. One of those 1,000 true fans. So on my TV, I'm listening to a band called Crosses. Hold on. It's actually like the band name is Three Crosses, but they call themselves Crosses. And the lead vocalist is Chino Moreno, lead singer of Deftones and Project Sleep. Sleep, is that what it was? Sleep. Oh god. All right, that's gonna bug me. What's his other band? I'm saying it right, and I'm like beating myself up for not. Team Sleep. Chino Moreno. Team Sleep, I think. Team Sleep and Palms. Yeah. I forgot about Palms. He also does some solo stuff or like guest appearances with bands like Polyphia. He did a really awesome single with Polyphia. So you were talking of starting your own YouTube channel. How goes the progress on that one? I do not currently play any instruments. I once upon a time played the trumpet, of all things. Yeah. I haven't picked up a trumpet in like, well, I don't know. It's been a long time. Um, but no, oh yeah, sketchbook business. I forgot about that. How goes the sketchbook business? Very cool. Where, so Brazil, what would the event be? And like, who do you plan on reaching out to there? Oh, perfect. Um, that, that's actually what I was getting ready to mention is that who you know matters so much. Like networking is the number one predictor of business success for artists in my experience. So like developing those partnerships is super valuable. Like if I only had one marketing tool period for my career, it wouldn't be Facebook, it wouldn't be Instagram, it wouldn't even be YouTube. It would be my personal CRM. So I keep notes on lots and lots and lots of people. Um, yeah, yeah, that that is where I have had the most success. Is just by knowing my people and oh, cool. So at a diner, I'm assuming it's like one of those. I mean, if it's a diner, I doubt it's like a drink and draw, but it's just like a sketch meetup, like a literally meetup to sketch situation. Yeah, yeah. Networking is um, most powerful tool ever for business. It's hard to get artists to acknowledge that though. Like, no, 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 you don't like. I meet with actually usually on Tuesday afternoons. I meet with other artists on Discord, um, and we have like just a art business chat. And today we're taking the day off because we all have our own randomness going on. Oh, it is a drink and draw. Freaking awesome. At a diner? So usually drink and draws happen at like bars in the US. Yeah. Um, they're a lot of fun. I don't drink anymore, but I still like to attend just because it's fun. Uh, it's fun watching everyone else get a little bit drunk and seeing the stuff that they sketch. That too dark? Yeah, I think that's too dark. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very entertaining. That's on Friday. That's awesome. I was just checking the timeline. So if you tune in next week, I'll do my bestest to remember to check in. I'll throw it in my CRM. Nope, don't like that. There we go. A little more separation. I appreciate it. I do. I'm excited to check those sketchbooks out. So here's where I'm at right now. I tried to merge everything and see what it looked like. I'm not a huge fan. Drop the opacity back even more on that. This is all on this. Oh, take it easy, man. Let me see if OBS is still picking up my voice. Oh, yeah, sir. Um, well, good luck with your day, sir. Have fun with the kid and the wife. And yeah, have a great day. Good luck with the event this Friday. You got this. And I'll hopefully check in on you next week, man. Take it easy. Oh, I won't. Take it easy, man. See you later. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to have like one of the like a low key color scheme, but still have some separation. Well, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Ugh. Phone is ringing. Be right back. Alrighty, I have returned. I am curious about something. So, this will be a short interlude. Now that's interesting. Here's March, here's April. Sorry, I am just looking at the back end for my live streams. Curious about like scrubbing through to see the chat. All right. There's pause. I don't need. All right. I said pause. Okay. That's a no. So I can only look at the live chat of a previous video by going to said previous video. Sorry. It won't let me just look at the... All right, let me Google it. How to view all chat messages on old live stream. That's for Twitch. I need YouTube. Old live stream, YouTube. Huh. I don't know. I will play with that later. For now, I'm gonna keep working on this value stuff. It's coming together. It's coming together. Let's see. So one trick, I don't even know to call it a trick. One observation of painting is that if you use long gradients, specifically a long gradient that is darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, it really simulates the way light falls off on a form, usually. So sometimes you'll get something that's darker at the top and lighter at the bottom, or depending on the lighting situation, but typically as something moves down a form, it gets less and less light if there is overhead lighting. So you can have things of similar value with the overall gradient, but different enough with different gradients that they look like different values. So I can create a separation from here to here using the exact same colors of gradient, but meeting at different ends of the gradient. So the dark end of this gradient meets at the light end of this one, and it helps create that illusion of separation. And it works really well. It's one of the first times I've actually gotten to explain myself and try it. So it's making me look smarter than I actually am. Yeah, because I know exactly what I'm talking about here. Yes. Yes, I do. That is a cool trick. Ha. Oh. I'm actually really happy with how this is coming together. Like I do want it to have more texture eventually, but for flat values before I even add color, I'm really happy with this. It is on sort of a bluish gray background, so it does have a cool undertone right now. I'll add warm tones on top. Or I won't. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get this katana back in focus. Something one of those artists that I mentioned earlier has been getting on to me about is being too tight with my painting. So I should not color, I should paint. But there are certain spots where I just want more detail. Like the katana is so out of place with all of the organic shapes around it. Like the armor is very man-made feeling, and the katana, like those are the two pieces of this that are man-made and not human figure or nature. So they automatically draw the eye, but the way I have this composition flowing is really interesting to me. Like I'm stealing from Frazetta, so take what you will from that. So we've got right now the most contrast is around the katana. So the katana is pointed at the hand is pointed at the face, and we've got this tree line leading right up to the face. But from the head, if we scan down the body, it follows the armor back to the katana. So we get this really strong triangular composition right here. And I want to, like everything I do, I want to support that. So we've got basically an arrow with the mountains leading down to the hand. It leads straight to the eye. The river is something that I need to rethink a little bit. So I left it very simple and slow flowing, but it doesn't give the mood that I want. So the river is the threat in this story. And the unsettling offer from this hand, like it's this warrior trying to determine what the bigger threat is, and the river needs to be more threatening, I think. So one of the artists that I was meeting with, same one that told me to stop coloring and start painting, he told me he made 2 suggestions. Now they were presented very well, but I'm not sure which one I'd like to do. I could either make the river more violent or change that to storm clouds in the background. Right? I think I'm going to go with the river being more threatening so that I can compress my values in the background. Like it'll basically be this gray. But I'll compress my values to a bunch of different light grays in the background just to keep like the darkness of the foreground really in focus. And then I'll do a lot of lights down here. So yeah, I think that's my plan. Sounds like a good plan in my head. What do you guys think? Oh, that is trippy. All right, so this is a desaturated super light gray. And where I've been working with cool grays for this whole thing. Oh, there's another loud phone call. I'll be right back. I don't like it when spam callers interrupt my live stream. But where I've been working with cool grays and I went to a completely neutral gray, as you can see, no saturation. That neutral gray up against the cool gray looks very warm. And it's barely a cool gray that I've been using. So that's an interesting observation. It's not a new observation to me, but I did want to point out how interesting that looks. That's a little too bright. There we go. And we don't need white right here. I was just popping it in for no real good reason. I'll just smudge it out. That way we're starting to introduce some of the different values. Very cool. All right. Yeah. This to be like barely lighter, we'll say 73%, no saturation. What happens when I do that back here? Like I said, very compressed values in the background. And kind of warmer. Well, not kind of warmer, they are warmer values, but I'm probably going to paint over a lot of the cloud. I'm definitely going to paint over a lot of the cloud lines whenever I get to that point. Clouds do not need outlines. This all actually needs to fall into the background, but I wanted clean lines to start with, and I'll tone the lines down later. That's much larger than I thought. All right, this is part of this background, I guess. There we go. I'm just gonna get rid of some of that over painted stuff. So I built these tree lines on their own layer, which means I can do the same with the mountains and slide that layer behind the trees. So that's what I'm going to do. But again, super compressed values in this far in the background. I want it to be darker than this, but not nearly as dark as the trees. So let's get the... What? I need my selection tool. What in the world are you doing? And I am separating the two ranges of mountains here. So if this is, let's just drop it by 5%. We'll keep the saturation the same. I really love using my just big old spray can of, wait, where'd my selection go? There's my selection. Color is still what I want it to be. Let's make a new layer. Got my spray can. And I want another 5% darker. Well, 5-ish% darker. There we go. Maybe. I'll just want it to be a smoother gradient. And we're gonna drop this behind the trees like that. Actually, we're gonna drop this behind the whole thing so far, like that. Deselect. Make sure I smudge the bottom of that out. Huh. Sorry, I just discovered something new about Procreate. Apparently, you can complete a selection by just selecting a brush or an eraser. Very cool. So we're still getting the compressed values back there. I could probably compress those values even more. Bother right now. Everything's still separated. Looking really nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely continue with this approach. So I like the, for lack of better language right now, there's a light at the end of this tunnel, you know, like there's hope on the other side of this, and the danger needs to be the decision happening in the story. So sorry, coordinating lunch plans with my wife. Yeah, so rather than having the threat incoming, there's hope somewhere, and I want the threat to be imminent, not storm clouds in the distance. I want it to be the river. So now that I'm getting clearer on how I'd like to approach this, I'm getting more and more pleased with what I'm trying to accomplish. I do need to find some references for Whitewater River. I had one saved, and then I didn't save it. I had one pulled up and I did not save it. I don't want the low horizon line too. That's important. Is that it? No. Oh, that's an idea too. All right. Don't know why I didn't think of that. Okay. So I could do a more rocky type coast. Or bank, rocky bank, not coast. This is not the ocean. So a rockier bank, and even have a rock in the foreground just to add more layers of depth. I could... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the rocky bank. So this is like a calm pool in the river, but the crossing is still dangerous. So he is like almost waist deep in water. So the rocks here probably would not be jutting too far above the water, but there may be... For instance, a rock right here. What layer am I on? That's why. All right. Okay, so this is the process, slowly building values and trying ideas out. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that reference pulled up. Actually, I'm gonna open the actual image and save it so that I don't lose this reference. Open image. Copy image. Notion. Sorry, random. I have a... Oh, full page. So I use Notion to organize pretty much everything in my life, including my artwork. So anytime I get... There we go. Anytime I get an idea, oh, that's not over 5 megabytes, is it? I'll just delete it. How huge is that? Okay. So I don't need super high res version of this, so screenshot. Haha. Sorry, I got very distracted. Boom. Yeah, I use Notion to organize everything, including my art. So if I have an idea for a piece of art, I will immediately record it inside of Notion. It helps me stay very organized, but I even collect, for instance, all of my reference images, and then I critique it afterwards inside of Notion. Everything happens inside of Notion. Went a little overboard with that. Makes more sense. So the lower horizon changes a lot about the composition. I just have to be aware of that. So this, sorry, I'm just looking and thinking now. You know what? What can I do? All right, I can. Start to define a couple of these edges, maybe paint something on top of that later. Get all of this smoothed out. Good. Nozzle again. All right. It is officially 10 a.m. So I am logging off for the day. Sorry for the silence over the past, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I'm having so much fun with this one though. Like I'm getting more and more excited about it the more I work on it. So I might actually put in a little more extra time on it this week, which I normally do not do. I normally try to, well, that's not entirely true. Sometimes I do put in extra time on a design between live streams, but it's not very often. I really prefer saving it for the stream, you know? But this is reaching a point where I'm excited to continue working on it. Like there's momentum that I like to keep going, so we'll see. I might be able to put it down until next live stream. If I can't, I'll record the progress and post it. So you won't miss the progress. It just might not be live. Yeah. So on that note, take it easy, everybody. Keep drawing, painting, writing, singing, or dancing your hearts out, and we'll talk soon. Side note, if you're an artist and you would like to be tattooed, you may have to travel for it, but I am hosting an art competition right now. I'll post the link in the description. I'll have to go back and edit it. But basically, I'm hosting a competition for artists to make their own tattoo design. So if you are interested in something like that, make sure you check out the link that I will have in the comments. And yeah, you'll have a chance to win your art tattooed on your body. Now, for my broader YouTube audience, that may mean travel. I'm fine with that. If you're fine with that, well, I can't travel, but if you're willing to travel for a tattoo, a free tattoo, then we'll make it happen if you win the competition. Yeah. Yeah, that should cover it. Anything else exciting? Not that I can think of off of the top of my head. But yep, take it easy, everybody. I will talk at you next week. I will be recording my updated rock, paper, pencil review tomorrow. There are some pros and cons. All in all, I'm happy with the rock, paper, pencil. I do think there are some interesting and noteworthy caveats, though. So I'll talk about that during the review. Take it easy, everybody. Keep doing the things that you do to be creative, and